Well, hello and thank you for joining me. I'm here today with Eryk Dutkiewicz. He is the Head of School and Computing and Communications at UTS in Sydney. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Alex.
Now, we're here today in Shenzhen to attend Huawei's Seeds of the Future program, and also we had a look at some upcoming 5G and Internet of Things developments. But before we go on to that, could you please tell us a little bit about UTS, about your role there, and perhaps some career highlights you'd like to share?
Sure. So I'm a newbie at UTS. I joined UTS in November last year.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful university, very agile and really geared to go and show itself to the world.
Mm-hmm.
We are at the moment number 1 under 50 university in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
so the young university, and about 14 in the world, which is not a bad number
Not
to
bad,
be in.
yeah.
Of course, when we're aging, it'll become harder to keep up those numbers.
Sure.
I'm the head of School of Computing and Communications, which involves a lot of wireless and networking technologies,
Mm-hmm.
as well as image processing, computer vision, machine learning, things like this. So I've been in this business for nearly 30 years, both in academia and in industry, and I guess the highlights probably of my career is having a slight contribution to the famous Wi-Fi standards. About 15-16 years ago, when I was working for Motorola.
Wow.
I was leading a wireless research lab in Motorola, and we were pushing very hard for Wi-Fi, which at that time looked like a small technology.
Sure.
And this is the most famous
I mean,
standard
it's
of all
ubiquitous
time.
now, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And was that like 802.11b or even earlier than that?
all of them. So basically, my particular input was into .11e,
Wow.
which it's not quite exactly very popular because we don't use it much,
Yeah.
but it's actually coming back in the context of 5G as well.
Wow, okay.
So
Very future forward thinking there.
it was indeed.
And tell me a little bit about your involvement with Huawei Seeds of the Future program and what it has meant to you and UTS.
So as I said, I joined UTS in November last year, 7 months ago. So this is my first time attending this event.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a wonderful opportunity to see what Huawei are doing and how far they have progressed. Because being in the industry for the last many years,
Yeah. Well, you've got a deep knowledge.
I probably remember the time where there was no Huawei.
Yeah.
And then I remember Huawei emerging and everybody ignoring
Yeah.
Huawei because it was just
New,
there were other
very
big
new.
players.
Yeah.
And now with 175,000 employees, it's a huge company. I don't know which other company in this business compares its size.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
they're doing very well. They have some challenges, obviously,
As all companies
but
do.
it's a very challenging environment right now.
Yeah, and competitive. So we had a tour today of Huawei's Shenzhen HQ. We saw the networking showcase with 4G, 4.5G, 5G connected homes, and all sorts of other related technologies. We also had an Internet of Things, of course, and we had then a separate briefing with Alex Wang, the Vice President of Huawei's Wireless Marketing Department. And then after that we had another showcase tour of Huawei's Enterprise Division. So what were some of the things that you learned from the showcase tours and the meeting that really stuck with you and was something like, oh, I didn't know that before and I can apply that with my students?
So I'm impressed with the breadth of offerings from Huawei in 5G, including IoT.
Yeah.
I guess it's to expect. It's a big company, but they have a lot of offerings at different levels. They mentioned the end products to the customers, the handsets. They mentioned the solutions in the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned the cloud. They have a lot of offerings, and some of them are quite innovative. Some of them you might be questioning whether it'll come off or not, but
Sure.
this is the fun and challenge of 5G. What will be those
Absolutely.
use cases? Will they come off or not? So a conversation with the Vice President of Wireless Marketing, I think it was, Alex Wang.
Yeah.
He was quite open to tell us this is challenging. It's a big risk for the whole industry to be in 5G.
Yeah.
Standardization is taking place. In 2020, we'll have the beginning of 5G. It will take probably quite a few years before we'll have the fully fledged 5G, because things such as higher frequency of millimeter wave and E-band and so on, this is still a way off in research.
Yeah, it's being still developed.
But in a lot of use cases, we don't even know about what will be there in 10 years' time. There will be surprises. Are we building something future-proof? We'll see.
Yeah.
So it's good fun.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's working on the future, turning science fiction into science fact is a great thing, and it's not just me talking about it. You're doing it, and people like Huawei are doing it.
In our labs as well at UTS, we are working on many aspects that Huawei are that touched upon: millimeter wave, massive MIMO, spectrum sharing, dynamic spectrum sharing, with a few industry partners who have, it's a competitive environment to get to get the intellectual property in the standards.
Yeah.
So it's a fun game to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the future. How do you see the tech industry evolving over the next decade?
I think it'll be interesting. It was mentioned today, software based. A lot of this will be software based, but there are lots of challenges to be software based. Software based is fantastic for doing upgrades and for managing, and it will happen mostly probably in the core network and on the edges. But the end devices themselves has to be energy efficient. For example, IoT. If you start putting too much software processing, you'll be burning the battery too much. So there will have to be different solutions. For IoT, for example, to succeed, you have to have very cheap end devices, which will last for a long time.
Very robust.
Very robust as well, and something which can be destroyed, nobody will cry over it. So the challenges are, but 1 million devices in a square meter to manage will be fun. I don't know how many trillions devices there will be in the world. Do we want to know everything that's happening?
Yeah, that's it.
I think the biggest challenge will be, okay, we'll get all this information.
And
we'll be taking all
it?
those parameters, measurements. How do we make sense of it?
Yeah.
And how do we make decisions out of it?
It's the information overload problem anew for a new generation.
Right. So this is what we call the big data analytics. And it's in different applications. It can go from health to transport to telecom. It's in
pretty
different
much
areas.
every aspect of life.
Yeah, that's right. So this will be moving towards very integrated solutions, which will have to look at hardware, software, algorithms, and it'll be complex, but at the same time, for the end users, it has to be simple.
Yeah.
So this complexity has to be completely hidden from the end users.
That's right. Well, they say a technology is made when it's invisible in your life and you take it for granted.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you, for example, if you always wanted it, but you never knew that you wanted it, you've got some good invention.
That's it. That's right. So do you have any final messages for ITY viewers and readers and for your current and future students?
Well, 5G is coming. Don't buy it yet because it's not there. So if somebody tries to sell you something, wait until 2020 and prepare for a nice ride, because if it works out, it'll be a fantastic user experience, and hopefully it'll open up lots of opportunities for startups, for inventors. It'll be a fantastic infrastructure around the world.
Yeah. Okay, Eryk Dutkiewicz, thank you so much for your time, and I hope to talk to you again sometime in the future.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.